Morning, everyone. Today we will look at Unit 9 achievements. 大家都希望有很好的成就，无论是事业上的成就，或是身体健康，都是一种成就。所以呢，请翻开98页。And Sue, would you please turn on your microphone?
Yes.
Hey, Sue, how are you?
Fine, thank you. And you?
Very good, thank you. So please look at page 98B. 先看 B 的地方，好。然后呢，Sue，请你练blue. I think running.
I think running a marathon is the most difficult.
Really? I think learning a new language is more difficult. 所以呢，请给我念一遍 marathon. Marathon 马拉松 marathon. 然后呢 marathon 呢 th 舌头放在牙齿的中间 marathon 马拉松。那我们请各位同学呢练习 A 的部分。A 的部分呢，譬如说我们刚才跟素有讲到run a marathon 就是跑马拉松，然后 get 什么呢 ？get into shape 叫做变得体态更好，就是身材更好。然后 learn a new language， 所以第一题我们基本上就没有问题了。那其他的呢，请1分钟把它做完。我们来对一下答案哦。Rex 范君杰
Yes, I'm here.
Hey Rex, how are you?
Yes, I'm fine.
Thank you. So would you please read number 4, climb a mountain.
Climb a mountain.
Number 5, win. 你有没有看到题目 ？Win.
要 win an award.
Yes, 得到一个奖项。Finish.
Finish college.
Finish college. 好，读完大学。Number 7, win
a competition.
competition. 对，竞赛。好，赢得一个竞赛。Pass
an exam.
Good.
Get a job.
Very good. Number 10.
Get a presentation.
Get into college.
Get into college.
就是进入。Get into 就是可以读大学的意思。Get into college.
Give a business.
Give a presentation. 好，叫做give presentation。譬如说我现在要简报，我就说 I would like to give a presentation， 叫做简报。And start
a business.
对，我们现在要开始做一个生意。好，那你跟我念一遍哦。好 ，OK， 来开始哦。从第一题 ，run a marathon.
Run a marathon.
Get into shape.
Get into shape.
Learn a new language.
Learn a new language.
Climb a mountain.
Climb a mountain.
Win an award.
Win an award.
Finish college.
Finish college.
Win a competition.
Win a competition.
Pass an exam.
Pass an exam.
Get a job.
Get a job.
Get into college.
Get into college.
Give a presentation.
Give a presentation.
Start a business.
Start a business.
Thank you, Rex. Do you think which one is most difficult? 哪一个最难？
presentation. I think it's presentation.
Give a presentation.
Yes.
I think start a business is difficult too. 做生意也很难。 But you are a businessman, right?
Not at all.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Rex. See you
Thank
later.
you. See you later.
And now please look at page 99,99页呢，9.2的地方。好，树跟我念一下哈。Listen for past time expressions.
Listen for a past time expressions.
好，我们现在要听的呢，是他在讲个人的故事，所以都是过去式。那如果我们也要讲故事的话呢，也是大概会讲过去式啊，你就说哦，昨天我怎样，去年我怎么样，所以会用过去式。好，开始。The speaker is talking about listening for certain time expressions.
Listening for certain time expressions.
Certain time 就是某一个时间点。好，然后呢，当我们听某一个时间点的 expression 叫表达方式哈。Helps you understand
Helps you understand
when the speaker is talking about the past.
when the speaker is talking about the past.
好，因为他用过去式的一些特定时间，他就说1年前呢、昨天呢、上个礼拜，那你就知道说他在讲过去式。For example, 1 year ago,
1 year ago,
last week,
last week,
when I was a child.
when I was a child.
当我很小很小的时候 when I was a little girl,
When I was a little girl.
when I was a little boy.
When I was a little boy.
对，这些都是那个听的人会比较清楚，说你是在说过去式。好，我们下面要听的，不用每一个字都懂哦。然后我们跟树稍微念一下题目，让你有心理准备。听到这里的时候就可以连连看哈。好，这个人呢，应该是 Leafy 吧 ？Ran his first marathon，讲一遍 ，run。
Run.
Sorry，过去式是 ran， 好，过去式是 ran his first marathon。
Run his first marathon.
好，他在哪里呢？等一下注意听哦。第一个马拉松在哪里呢 ？Number two, his favorite marathon was in。
His favorite marathon was in.
最喜欢的马拉松在哪里呢？要注意听哦。好 ，his most difficult race was in。
His most difficult race was in.
好，race 呢，也就是竞赛哈，可以是赛跑、赛车。那在这里可能他讲的也是马拉松的意思哈。He finished in third place.
He finished in third place in.
好，很好。他第3名是在哪里呢？好，第3名好像就很厉害了啦，所以也是很难忘的。那我们等一下会先听再解说。Wait for me.
Before, so I knew it wouldn't be easy.
Okay. So, Sue, can you hear the CD?
Yes, I can hear this CD.
Thank you. So everyone, pay attention. 只要听到你想听的就好了，不用挣扎每一个字，就一定会进步。Let's go.
In 2012, I set myself a challenge. I wanted to try to run 12 full-course marathons in 1 year. I had never run a full marathon before, so I knew it wouldn't be easy. I like traveling, so I wanted to run in different countries. I planned to run marathons in Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Iceland, and Thailand. My first marathon was in Okinawa, Japan.
OK，答案有出现哦。继续。
On the morning of the race, I was pretty nervous. But the weather was beautiful, the atmosphere was fantastic, and my training beforehand was just enough. I finished the race. It was an amazing feeling. My favorite marathon was the one in Reykjavik, Iceland.
答案出现喽。
Iceland is a beautiful country and the scenery along the course was breathtaking. The most difficult race was in Kuala Lumpur.
好，注意咯。
First of all, it was really hot. But my biggest mistake was that I forgot to pack my running shoes. Can you believe it? So the day before the race, I had to buy new shoes, and during the race, my feet were pretty painful. In Gwacheon, which is in Korea, I managed to finish in 3rd place. This was a real shock. I only realized it after the race was already over, but I was very happy. After my last race in Bangkok, I had completed my challenge. I still enjoy running. I'm currently preparing for a full marathon in Stockholm, and maybe I'll try running 20 marathons in 2020. In
So,
2012, I
just
set
a
myself a
moment.
challenge.
So, we will understand that B 部分呢，它的答案都有出来。A 部分呢，如果你忘了听的话呢，再听一下，其实一开始没多久就出来了。所以我们看 A 的地方 ，Number one, he ran 12 marathons in 1 year， 一年有12次的马拉松，对不对呢？ Number two, he broke a national record for the marathon. 他打破了国家的纪录，有吗？有提到吗？3, he won a marathon in Iceland. 在 Iceland 冰岛呢，他赢了马拉松，有没有呢？其中只有一个。好，我们要继续听哦，请记得。
In 2012, I set myself a challenge. I wanted to try to run 12 full course marathons in 1 year. I had never run a full marathon before, so I knew it wouldn't be easy. I like traveling, so I wanted to run in different countries. I planned to run marathons in Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Iceland, and Thailand. My first marathon was in Okinawa, Japan. On the morning of the race, I was pretty nervous, but the weather was beautiful, the atmosphere was fantastic, and my training beforehand was just enough. I finished the race. It was an amazing feeling. My favorite marathon was the one in Reykjavik, Iceland. Iceland is a beautiful country and the scenery along the course was breathtaking. The most difficult race was in Kuala Lumpur. First of all, it was really hot. But my biggest mistake was that I forgot to pack my running shoes. Can you believe it? So the day before the race, I had to buy new shoes, and during the race, my feet were pretty painful. In Gwacheon, which is in Korea, I managed to finish in 3rd place. This was a real shock. I only realized it after the race was already over, but I was very happy. After my last race in Bangkok, I had completed my challenge. I still enjoy running. I'm currently preparing for a full marathon in Stockholm, and maybe I'll try running 20 marathons in 2020.
So we will check our answers. Nelly, are you here? Song Pei-Xin.
Yes.
Hi, Pei-Xin. Would you please tell me your answer for A?
A, he ran 12 marathons in 1 year.
Correct. Can you tell me about B? B1. Leader.
Ran his first marathon in Okinawa, Japan.
Yes, bingo. Number 2.
His favorite marathon was in Reykjavik, Iceland.
Correct.
And number 3, his most difficult race was in Kuala
Lumpur.
Lumpur, Malaysia.
Yes.
And number 4, he finished in 3rd place in the Gwacheon, Korea.
Okay. Correct. Thank you, Nelly. I would like to ask you another question. Do you know when did he start marathon?
When he started,
2000 and what? Have you heard? 2000 and what?
2000.
It's all right. We can listen again. And then, do you know the reason that he likes to go marathon? Another reason is
He likes to why?
traveling. Have you heard of traveling?
Or he likes to travel.
Go traveling.
Go
Yes.
traveling.
Yes, that's why he go marathon in other countries. And how many countries do you remember he has ever been?
He has how
You
many?
can see at least 4 here, right?
Yes.
Okay,
4
tell me.
countries.
Iceland,
Yeah,
Japan,
Korea and Malaysia.
and
And
do you know
Bangkok.
Stockholm? 是斯德哥尔摩 Stockholm 是不是北欧的地方？ Have you heard about Thailand?
Yes, Bangkok.
Yeah, Bangkok. So you mentioned about a lot of countries.
Yeah.
Thank you very good. Your listening is pretty good. Now we listen a little bit more so you can understand which year, okay? And then you tell me later.
Okay.
Okay, let me play again. 请听他是哪一年开始跑的？有没有听到
No?
？No? Oh, I didn't share. Oh, I have to share again. Wait for me. Yeah, I have to share again.
In 2012, I set myself a challenge. I wanted to try to run 12 full course marathons in 1 year. I had never run a full marathon before, so I knew it wouldn't be easy. I like traveling, so I wanted to run in different countries.
I like traveling. So, Nanny, do you heard that?
Yes.
Yeah. So which year?
2012.
Yes, that's very beginning, right?
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Very good. 每次都会进步一点，所以呢，每次听到漏掉就回来听就可以了。Thank you, Nanny. See you later.
Yeah.
Now we'll please look at 9.3的地方。Listen first for me.
How was the race last week?
Pretty good. I got second place.
Oh, well done.
Thanks. It wasn't easy.
Did you get a prize?
Yeah, I did. I won a $50 book voucher.
Great. You must be really happy.
I am. It was really hard work, but it was worth it.
好，再听一次，我们要继续，请大家一起跟着念哦。
How was the race last week?
Pretty good.
Good.
I got second place.
Oh, well done.
Thanks. It wasn't easy.
Very easy.
Did you get a prize?
Yeah, I did. I won a $50 book voucher.
Great. You must be really happy.
I am. It was really hard work, but it was worth it.
Okay, let's practice. Can I invite Naomi, 陈柏君, and Tina, 南婷?
Yes,
柏君, you are A,
A.
and then Tina is B. Tina, are you here?
Yes.
Okay, Tina, you are B. Go.
How was the race last week?
Pretty good. I got second place.
Oh, well done.
Thank you. It isn't easy. It wasn't easy.
Did you get a prize?
Yeah, I did. I won a 50 book voucher.
Great.
$50. Sorry, $50， 不
$50
是50张，是50元。OK， yes，
Great.
great.
You must be really happy.
I am. It was really hard work, but it was worth it.
Very good. Wait for me, girls. 好，刚才要解释一下呢，50块钱呢是$50 book voucher。那如果你说50 book voucher，我们会以为是50张礼券，所以呢，它有那个 dollar， 你就要讲出来。好 ，I would like to ask Tina, have you ever been to marathon? No, me either. Yes or no?
Never run marathon, but only for fun. About 5 or 3 kilometers.
Oh, that's a lot too. 5 or 6 kilometers.
5 or kilometer.
So how long does it take?
Oh, almost 1 hour.
1 hour with your friends?
Yes, with my friends.
In Tainan?
In Taipei.
Oh, so is that safe
Mm-hmm.
to run?
Yes, it's safe to run.
On the road or in the sports field?
On the road.
On the road is safe?
Yeah, this is an event, a marathon event.
Oh, that's event. Otherwise, it won't be safe.
Yes.
Great. And how about Naomi? Have you ever been to marathon?
Yes, but only in the happy running group.
Happy running? I know what you mean. Not for prize, right? Just for fun.
Yeah.
So in Tainan,
Pardon?
did you do it in Tainan?
Tainan, yeah, sure. In Anping.
In Anping?
And
Sounds very happy.
Anping.
Next time you can invite our classmates
Oh,
and we
really?
can see each other. Yes, I think so. I think it would be fun if our classmates can meet and run a little bit just for fun. Happy group, right? That's a really good name. I like it. Thank you, girls. See you later.
See you later.
Okay. Please look at page 100, 100页. Okay, milestones means 里程碑. Milestones. Exploration. 好 exploration 就是发现哈。我们要来发现呢里程碑，所以呢世界纪录的保持人，譬如说第一个登上月球的 Armstrong and Aldrin。好，我们要 listen， 请先听，因为听的时候我讲话不清楚，所以先听完。
In 1963, Valentina Tereshkova. Milestones in exploration.
In 1953, Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay climbed Mount Everest.
In 1963, Valentina Tereshkova became the first woman to travel to space.
In 1969, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first people to walk on the moon.
In 1985, Robert Ballard discovered the Titanic.
In 1986, Robert Swan walked to the South Pole.
In 1999, Bertrand Piccard and Brian Jones flew a balloon non-stop around the world.
In 2001, Anne Bancroft and Lieve Arneson traveled across Antarctica.
In 2010, 16-year-old Jessica Watson sailed alone around the world.
In 2015, Gennady Padalka broke the record for the longest time spent in space.
So Sue, please repeat after me. 我们从1953年呢，的那个有一些单字，我们就把它记起来哈。圣母峰 ，Mount Everest。Mount
Everest。
1963年的地方 ，Travel to Space。
travel space,
travel to space，
travel to space,
要微笑 space，
space,
对，好，walk on the moon，
walk on the moon,
1985 discovered the Titanic，
discovered the Titanic,
1986 walk to the South Pole，
walk to the South Pole,
pole 就是南极 ，pole 就是最端、最南端哦，South Pole 就最南端。好，1999哈，flew a balloon non-stop around the world。
flew a balloon non-stop around the world,
flew 就是 fly 的过去式 ，fly 的过去式，他们在气球里面呢。non-stop 都没有停哦，然后到全世界环绕全世界。哦，2001 Antarctica 呢也是南极 ，South Pole 也是南极哈。那 Antarctica 叫做南极洲，南极洲的。那 South Pole 就是最南端。好，跟我念一遍 Antarctica。
Antarctica,
traveled across Antarctica。
traveled across Antarctica,
所以呢，他跨越南极洲哦，他跨越南极洲的旅行，因为南极很冷啊，只要到达就很冷了，可是他竟然跨越它。好，2010的地方 sailed alone around the world，
sailed alone around the world,
重点就是在航行的时候，我们需要助手帮我们改变帆船的方向航行的方向，或是帮忙照顾这个船。那他是一个人，所以非常的困难。Sailed alone 呢，就是独自航行。好，再看2015的地方broke the record
broke the record
for the longest time
for the longest time
in space。
spent in space,
spent in space 就是呢，在太空站里面花最长的时间，这真的很厉害。好，那我们来看9.5的地方好，注意就是不用听懂每一个字只要等我一下，我先跟数念一下题目，我们再开始放Number 1好。Before they became explorer 有点难念explorer. Before they became explorers,
before they became explorers,
Anne Bancroft and Liv Ann Arneson work as
Anne
Bancroft
and Liv Arneson worked as
好，他们在成为呢 explorers 就是发现者或是探险者。在他们当探险家之前，他们是什么职业？那第一句就有了。好，第二个 ，In 2001, they became the first women to cross the Antarctica on 开始。
In 2001, they became the first women to cross the Antarctica on
什么呢？要注意听Their journey across Antarctica took
Their journey across Antarctica took
他们的旅程 journey， 然后呢，横越南极洲 Antarctica 花了几个月呢？好，大家注意听。
Anne Bancroft and Liv Arneson were once school teachers. But in February 2001, they became the first women to cross the Antarctic on foot. They walked, skied, and ice sailed for more than 2,700 kilometers in extremely cold and dangerous conditions. The journey lasted 3 months. Bancroft and Arneson wanted their adventure to inspire others to their own achievements. Using a website and satellite phone calls, more than 3 million children from around the world were able to watch and share in this amazing journey.
One more time.
Anne Bancroft and Liv Arneson were once school teachers, but in February 2001, they became the first women to cross the Antarctic on foot. They walked, skied, and ice sailed for more than 2,700 kilometers in extremely cold and dangerous conditions. The journey lasted 3 months. Bancroft and Arneson wanted their adventure to inspire others to their own achievements. Using a website and satellite phone calls, more than 3 million children from around the world were able to watch and share in this amazing journey.
So I would like to check answers with you. Can I invite Alice? 刘梦婷。刘梦婷 ，Yeah， 没看到她哎。好 ，Stan， 黄安宇。Hi, Stan, would you please tell me your number one?
Well, meaning, sorry, I wasn't here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it was not here. It's all right. It's all right. You listen to other friends. And I would like to talk to Jennifer, Yang Jingfen.
I'm here.
Hi, Jennifer. Would you please tell me about number one?
Okay. Before they became explorers, Anne Bancroft and Liv Harrison worked as school teachers.
Yes, school teachers. That's true. Number two.
In 2001, they became the first women to cross Antarctic on foot.
On foot 就是用脚，那用脚呢 ？So 也不是真的只有走路而已哦。So Jennifer, do you remember how many ways did they use?
They use the ski board.
Ski, yeah, ski. Sometimes
Yeah.
they ski because
Yeah.
you walk on ice. It's not very easy, right? So ski is quite fast. And then another one, ice. Yeah, ice sailed.
Ice sail. Yes.
They say ice sailed.
Okay.
So I think it's a
it's
very
ice
special
sailed.
way.
It's
Yeah.
some kind of ice motorcycle.
I guess so.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't think it's a school. It's like a motorcycle because motorcycle doesn't mean on foot.
Okay. Oh, really?
Right. She said they said on
Okay.
foot. So
Okay.
we don't know much about that. Sorry.
Okay.
And number three.
Okay. Their journey across Antarctica took 3 months.
Yes, great, correct. Jennifer, do you know why did they do so?
They want to take some videotape for children and show their inspiration and demonstrate for their students.
Great. Wait for me. I would like to type it down. I just want to type down our conversation as it. So maybe some other students also can learn writing. So you talk about they want to share their what?
Share their inspiration.
Inspiration for children, for others, actually. They say for others.
Yeah, for others.
and then by satellite.
Okay.
Do you know satellite?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, it's not video. Oh, I just forgot the satellite. So actually, it's not by video because they want to have the live call.
Okay.
With children. So children can see, oh, now they are walking. Oh, now they are doing something. So
Okay.
children will get very excited
Mm-hmm.
about what they are doing. And then maybe they can say cheers and go, 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 or good luck to you, or be careful. So they can have lifetime communication with the children since they are school teachers. So
Yes.
they like to encourage students.
Yes.
And that's very, very interesting.
Exciting.
So it's kind of achievement. Do you know today we are talking about achievement?
Mm-hmm.
So that for them, it's a great achievement.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I would just think it's too cold for me and too dangerous.
Too
I
cold
want
and
to
too dangerous.
Yeah, so Jennifer, if you were them, what else can you do to encourage children or to inspire children?
Maybe I will show them some animal in the on the South Port.
Oh,
on the South
showing
Port. Yeah.
animals like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
what?
some
Hey,
animals.
is
Yeah.
that dangerous? Oh no. So like a penguin, right?
Yes. Penguin
Oh,
is
like a
very lovely.
and they are friendly. They don't
Yes.
eat us.
Yeah.
They don't eat the people. Yeah,
Not,
that's true.
yes, not too dangerous.
Yeah. Also, now we have IG. We can show IG about what we are doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really convenient for
Okay.
them. But however, when they did it, do you remember which month in 2001? Do you remember? Which month?
No,
You don't?
yeah.
Really? Okay,
I
I will
didn't
play for
mention.
you and then you tell me later, okay?
Okay.
请大家继续听说，他在2001年是哪一个月份哦？好，我就是要考大家，challenge 大家。好，wait for me。OK， 注意。
Anne Bancroft and Lev Arneson were once school teachers, but in February 2001,
有没有听到 Jennifer？
Yes, February.
Yeah, February. 对，所以每次都挑战自己，多听一点，多听一点就会进步。Thank you. See you
Okay.
later.
Bye.
Okay. Watch and study language interrupt. 好。Sue, can you come back?
Yes.
Okay. So now we are talking about 9.6. Well, listen first and try to. 我们要念一下过去式哦，记得我们讲故事的时候要用过去式。好，就念蓝色的字哈。好，树 landed on the moon.
Landed on the moon.
Was the first to walk on the moon.
Was the first to work on the moon.
Was second.
Was second.
Were on the surface of the moon.
Were on the surface on the moon.
好 ，surface 表面，是要在月球表面。Was also on the mission.
Was also on the mission.
Mission impossible， 对不对？不可能的任务，所以 mission 呢就是任务。好 ，didn't walk on the moon.
Didn't work on the moon.
好可惜哦，这个 Michael Collins 呢就没有在地球上，没有在月球上走，虽然我们都不记得他了，有这个 Michael Collins， 他也有任务，可是就没有在那里。好，再来看 began their balloon flight.
Began their balloon flight.
Were they successful?
Were they successful?
Yes, they were.
Yes, they were.
Did they make any stops on their journey?
Did they make any stops on their journey?
要很卷舌 journey
Journey.
very good， 很像 Germany， 很像德国，有没有 Germany？ 好 ，No, they didn't。
No, they didn't.
你说有没有停留的话，我们会说 Did they stop somewhere? Did they stop in Tainan? 但是如果没有特别说在哪一个地点，我们叫做 make a stop。然后呢，我们打电话，我说I called Sue yesterday， 我可以说 CALL 加 ED。但是如果我没有特别说我打电话给谁，我只是要说我昨天有打电话 I made a phone call， 我打了一个电话，我没有打电话 I didn't make a phone call。 所以素跟我讲一遍I made a phone call last night.
I made a phone call last night.
I didn't make any phone calls last night.
I didn't make any phone calls last night.
They didn't make any stops.
They didn't make any stops.
I made some stops in Kaohsiung.
I made some stops in Kaohsiung.
我在高雄停留了几次，可以这样讲。好，最后一行 ，How long did the journey take?
How long did the journey take?
好，这个 take 呢，可以说主词是这一件事情或这个东西，不是我。我的话会说 I spend。好，所以呢，它可能是花时间或花金钱。他如果说 How long？那表示说，花多少时间？如果 How much did it take？ 就是他花了多少钱。How long did the journey take？ 再一遍。
How long did the journey take?
It took almost 20 days.
It took almost 20 days.
对，好，等我一下。
In 1969, Apollo 11's lunar module landed.
好，大家跟着一起念哦，这同步。
In 1969, Apollo 11's lunar module landed on the moon. Neil Armstrong was the first to walk on the moon. Buzz Aldrin was second. They were on the surface of the moon for just over 2 hours. Michael Collins was also on the mission, but he didn't walk on the moon.
Picard and Jones began their balloon flight around the world in 1999.
Were they successful?
Yes, they were.
Did they make any stops on their journey?
No, they didn't.
How long did the journey take?
It took almost 20 days.
In 1960.
So, let me know. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
OK， 我们要练习，就是我试看看哈，就是他念一句，我们念一句，这效果是最好。如果你们可以听得到，我们就继续；如果不能听得到，素就马上跟我讲。好，我继续哦，就是念一句，然后我们就重复一句，这样能够训练我们的发音。
In 1969, Apollo 11's lunar module landed on the moon.
Okay, go. In 1969, Apollo 开始。In 1969, Apollo 11's lunar module landed on the moon.
Neil Armstrong was the first to walk on the moon.
Neil Armstrong was the first to walk on the moon.
Buzz Aldrin was second.
Buzz Aldrin was second.
They were on the surface of the moon for
They were on the surface of the moon. 我们要学它的语调哈。They were on the surface of the moon for just over 2 hours.
just over 2 hours.
For just over 2 hours. 其实只有2个小时，可是已经流传千古。
Michael Collins was also on the mission,
Michael Collins was also on the mission,
but he didn't walk on the moon.
but he didn't walk on the moon.
Picard and Jones began their balloon flight
Picard and Jones began their balloon flight
around the world in 1999.
around the world in 1999.
Were they successful?
Were they successful?
Yes, they were.
Yes, they were.
Did they make any stops on their journey?
Did they make any stops on their journey?
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
How long did the journey take?
How long did the journey take?
It took almost 20 days.
It took almost 20 days. Great. 好，33分回来。See you later.
Sarah McNair Landry grew up in northern Canada. Her parents were Arctic guides, so it's not surprising that she wanted to explore from an early age. At age 18, she skied to the South Pole. She was the youngest person ever to do this. In 2007, McNair Landry, her brother, and a friend decided to snow kite 2,300 kilometers across Greenland. She wanted to raise awareness of global warming, and she hoped to inspire a new generation of explorers. In 2015, she and a friend traveled for 120 days in the Arctic by dog sled. According to McNair Landry, the most difficult thing about the trip was keeping the dogs happy. Often, they simply didn't want to run.
Hello, everyone. Please come back. And what is snow kite? So you can see snow kite from these photos. Snow kite. 还有一个呢，叫 surf kite，就一边划水，对，一边冲浪一边呢用这个 kite 也有。所以呢，有在水上的 kite 叫风筝哈。然后有的是在雪上，所以一边看它的脚是一边滑，然后这边是一边有放那个风筝，所以会增加它的速度。Now we will talk about page 101 101页。好，第一部分呢，我们先省略，有空的话再回来。请看9.7的地方呢，我们一边听，然后一边填字下去。注意这一次呢是要用过去式。
Sarah McNair Landry grew up in northern Canada. Her parents were Arctic guides, so it's not surprising that she wanted to explore from an early age. At age 18, she skied to the South Pole. She was the youngest person ever to do this. In 2007, McNair Landry, her brother, and a friend decided to snow kite 2,300 kilometers across Greenland. She wanted to raise awareness of global warming, and she hoped to inspire a new generation of explorers. In 2015, she and a friend traveled for 120 days in the Arctic by dog sled. According to McNair Landry, the most difficult thing about the trip was keeping the dogs happy. Often, they simply didn't want to run.
OK， 希望你记得是过去式。好，再听一遍，然后我们就要对答案哈。
Sarah McNair Landry grew up in northern Canada. Her parents were Arctic guides, so it's not surprising that she wanted to explore from an early age. At age 18, she skied to the South Pole. She was the youngest person ever to do this. In 2007, McNair Landry, her brother, and a friend decided to snow kite 2,300 kilometers across Greenland. She wanted to raise awareness of global warming, and she hoped to inspire a new generation of explorers. In 2015, she and a friend traveled for 120 days in the Arctic by dog sled. According to McNair Landry, the most difficult thing about the trip was keeping the dogs happy. Often, they simply didn't want to run.
Okay, let's check the answer. So please read a little bit for me. Can I call Peter Shihao? Are you here? Or Shihao? No. How about Jenny,蔡佩珍?
Yes.
Oh, Jenny, would you please read for me Sarah McNair Landry?
Sarah McNair grew
Landry.
up
Yes. Yes,
in
you are right.
northern
In northern Canada.
Her
Her
parents
parents?
were Arctic guides.
Arctic.
Arctic.
北极.
So it is not surprising that she wanted to explore from an early age.
好 ，Thank you。等一下哈。好，所以呢，grew up 过去式 Arctic guides 就是北极的导游，所以他的爸爸妈妈是北极的导游。然后呢，so it's not surprising，所以呢不会很惊讶说啊，他想要 explore，就是想要探险全世界，所以 wanted 的过去式。好，继续 at age 18。
At age 18, she skied to the South Pole. She was
skied 好 skied 过去式好，然后呢
She was the youngest person ever to do this.
好，所以他18岁就已经用滑雪的方式到南极，所以呢，这是最年轻的小孩。好 ，continue in 2007.
In 2007, McNair Landry, her brother, had a friend decided to snow kite.
Kite. kite 就是那个风筝呢。decided 好，所以呢 continue 好，他用就是我刚才有给你们看照片，你有没有看到那个 Jenny？有好，所以他用那种就是雪风筝，然后 hope 你念完了吗
？Snow kite 2,300 kilometers across Greenland.
格陵兰在格陵兰kilometer 呢公里，好，2300公里，台湾的几倍大了，你知道吗？好，然后继续 she wanted
to raise awareness of global warming.
好 raise。Sorry， 我先解释一下好了。Raise awareness 呢叫做提高意识 ，global warming 呢叫地球暖化，所以他想要提高大家地球暖化的意识，让大家觉得哦，我们要怎么样保护地球。Continue and
she hoped to inspire a new generation of explorers.
Explorer ，explore，explore。好，他希望呢可以 inspire 启发新的一代 a new generation 新一代的探险者。好，in
2015, she and a friend traveled for 120 days in the Arctic by dog sled.
dog sled 就是狗的雪橇，一般雪橇是麋鹿哈 ，reindeer， 那它是用狗，其实好可怜哦。好 ，continue. According to
McNeil Landry, the most difficult thing about the trip was keeping the dogs happy.
在这个旅程中最困难的呢是让 dog happy，因为它不高兴，它就会不走了。好，继续 often
they simply didn't want to run.
好 didn't want to run， 你文法很好哎，全部都对，很好。好，那就是为什么呢 ？Simply 就是单单或是他们就是不想要跑，所以呢，狗又不是生来拉雪橇的，所以他们就不高兴走。好，Jenny，so how do you think about this story?
I think she is very brave and she wants to explore the Greenland and by herself.
Have you ever heard a movie called 好像白日梦大冒险
I heard the movie, but I forgot the.
它就是在 Greenland 拍，它是西恩潘还有那个我忘记他的名字。好，他就在格陵兰拍的，因为那部电影我才知道说，哎，格陵兰其实很漂亮。好 ，Greenland 的，好，所以其实I'm so surprised about her parents. If I were her mother, I won't let her do this. 如果你是 mother, will you let her do this?
No, I'm afraid my daughter did this.
Yes, I won't allow her to do so. I think that's too dangerous for 18-year girl. You know, she is a girl and she was just 18 and it's very, very cold. It's very, very cold. I think the summer, I think the winter is like 9 months. They have 9 months winter. 9个月都是冬天哦。So that's crazy. Also, I have a question about their parents. Like when they were 18, they are supposed to study at school, right? She spent 120 days. 120天都没有去上学哦。In Taiwan, it's impossible, right? 那个120天没去上学，那意思就不用考大学了嘛？因为18岁不是要考大学。So, I just think about different cultures. The culture in Western country and Taiwan are very different. And the parents in Western country and Taiwan are different too. 就是他们的父母跟我们的父母也是不太一样，好像18岁就玩120天，会不会太爱玩了一点呢？ So, Jenny, do you think we have different culture in the West and East?
Yes.
Very different culture, right? Yeah. So thank you, Jenny. See you later.
Thank you.
好，我们要听最后一次呢。重点这一次听的时候呢，假设你在说自己的故事，虽然我们没有去南极或北极，可是我们也有自己的故事啊，对不对？譬如说，我很小的时候就去哪里玩，或是我从小的时候就做了一些什么，尝试一些什么事情活动。所以我们假设我们自己要讲故事，然后要记得就是用过去式，然后呢学它的文法。Okay, let's listen carefully again.
Sarah McNair Landry grew up in northern Canada. Her parents were Arctic guides, so it's not surprising that she wanted to explore from an early age. At age 18, she skied to the South Pole. She was the youngest person ever to do this. In 2007, McNair Landry, her brother, and a friend decided to snow kite 2,300 kilometers across Greenland. She wanted to raise awareness of global warming, and she hoped to inspire a new generation of explorers. In 2015, she and a friend traveled for 120 days in the Arctic by dog sled. According to McNair Landry, the most difficult thing about the trip was keeping the dogs happy. Often, they simply didn't want to run.
OK。好，各位同学看 F 的地方，101页的 F 呢，重组句子。然后呢，Did you pass your last exam？ 你有没有通过最后一次考试呢？第二题呢 ，When did you last win a prize？ 第二题比较特别一点，比较难懂。Last win 就是你最后一次赢到奖是什么时候呢？第三题自己写，第四题自己写，1分钟对答案。好，请同学对一下答案哦。尼寇林怡君在吗？
在。
Nicole, would you please read the number 3 for me?
Okay. What did you achieve last year?
Achieve. 你成就了什么呢？哦，it's hard to say， 很不好意思说哈。When did you achieve? When did you achieve last year? Nicole, do you remember 你去年做了一个蛮有成就感的事情是什么
？Last year. I got the certificate of coaching.
Oh, great! What do you teach?
The business coaching.
哦，所以你是商业领导人，对不对？
Yep.
Great. Oh, I would like to go to your class. I would like to be your student. Do you have class? Do you have class right now?
Yes. After the Chinese New Year.
After Chinese New Year. So you don't have class during the winter vacation?
Winter vacation. No.
You don't have winter vacation. Honey, thank you. Number 4. Congratulations, Nicole.
Thank you.
That's great achievement. And number 4.
Were you a good student in middle school?
Yeah, were you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, you can say, yes, I was. Yes,
Okay.
I was. We are learning English, past tense, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I think so too. I think most of us are good students. Nicole, can you tell me about before you had the certificate, what did you need to do?
I have go to the class.
Sorry, you had the.
Oh, I had to.
Yeah.
Attended the class for over 6 months.
6 months. How many hours?
How many hours?
A week.
1 week a day. 8 hours 1 week.
8 hours a day.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So where did you go? Like Tainan or?
No, in Taipei.
In Taipei.
Yeah.
And is that a company or?
It's a coaching school.
Oh, coaching school.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about what you learned?
I learned.
I learned. 过去式. I
learned how to lead other people. And how to communication with other people.
How to communicate.
Yes.
So can you tell me about a little bit about how did they teach you the ways to communicate? For example,
You have to listen to others, not only the language he said, but also the non-language, the body language in his face or his hand or body moving, or even you have to have some connection with others by your feeling.
That's very abstract, 很抽象. How can you have connection with others? Connection, 连. How do you say connection? It's very difficult to describe. What kind of connection?
For example, you can feel others' feeling. Emotion.
Yes. So to feel how he or she feels.
Yes.
Oh, quite abstract. Okay, great. So Nicole, I would like to tell you a story now. Wait for me. I would like to show how to write your story. That's a very good story. Thank you, Nicole. Wait for me, okay? Because you can help me sometimes. Almost there. Okay. So I'm the third person. 我是第三者，所以我来看这件事情，我来形容。像我们刚才101页，我们都是以第三者的眼光来写这篇文章。So I will say, Nicole, can you see my typing?
Yes.
Great. OK， 所以我们要学看101页那种讲故事的方法哈。Nicole attended a course for becoming a leader in business areas. 好，Nicole 呢参加了一个课程，这个课程是要变职场上的领导者。Nicole, am I right so far?
Become a coaching.
Coaching 不是 leader 是 coaching 跟 leader 差在哪里
？Coaching is helping other leaders become a leader.
OK, become a coach 还是 coaching 是 BING.
Become a coach. Yes.
Coach. OK, become a coach of business leaders. 这样对吗？Business leaders. Great, thank you. So, 你要不要接下来你用嘴巴讲，我有帮你打字。我们现在在练习呢，用过去式讲故事，然后我们以实际的例子呢会比较生动，不然课本是课本嘛，哈。所以我们就是信手拈来就可以写一篇文章，这是我鼓励大家。大家都说，哎呦，写作很难。其实呢，不是写作很难，是你根本就没写过。才会很难，你常常写，然后写错了就改一改，然后就觉得好像我也会写一篇那种感觉。好，那请记得我们今天的重点是过去式，所以我们就一直用过去式就对了。我要再加一个，要说 last year。Can you tell me about which month? When did you attend the course?
February.
February, okay. The course lasted for 6 months. 好，我要说 Sorry, what happened? The course lasted. 哦，现在有发生 delay 的情况。不知道为什么会发生 delay。好 ，lasted for 6 months。好，我们像过去式，这个课程持续了6个月。she learned。你再告诉我 what did you learn? I learned
how to leading other people.
Okay, the ways to lead people and communication.
Yes.
According to the course, communication involved. Communication 有包括呢 language 语言，还有手势 gestures and facial expression， 还有面部的表情，对不对？你看，你有没有觉得我很了解你？
Yes, very.
Very much because I did this before. Actually, this is about part of my PhD. My PhD is about communication. So also, actually, I think according to my experience, actually, it's also about a little bit about cultures. For example, people from different backgrounds, they have different culture. So you have to understand. So she learned, pay attention, 我都一直在用过去式. She learned how to care about others' feeling. Okay? Feeling, emotion, 还有情绪，他的感觉，我感觉到不太舒服，或感觉到很快乐。那情绪，情绪比较是，对，就是说你的环境或你的周遭的人，可能对你说一些什么话或做一些什么事，你就会有情绪上的改变。So feeling and emotion. Also, she learned. 他也学习到说要跟别人connection， 我觉得这个比较难解释，因为 connection 是什么意思呢？你说就是大概就是我的 feeling 和 emotion， 对不对？说到 connection， 我们最近有什么人与人的连接，非常的害羞，好难形容。好，所以我们就说这样子。So 我来造一个长一点的句子。She learned how to care about others' feeling and emotion, so that she can have better understanding about others. 因为你比较在乎他的感觉，你就觉得他脸部的表情在变化，手势变得僵硬了，或是变得活泼了，你就会比较好的了解。Better understanding 是非常 academic、非常学术的表达啊，这是我跟我以前的教授都是这样子写文章的，所以其实很好懂，然后又很学术。Have better understanding about others. By doing so， 这样子做的话呢，如果你又很细心，然后又很会察言观色，又非常的虚心的听他们 ，you can, people can。如果说大家都这样做 ，people can have。这时候呢，我就用现在式，因为这样子做的话呢。 我们现在也是可以通用哈。好，这里先等一下，等我一下，我这里先把它改一下。前一句先用 could，因为一个现在是一个过去式，有点不好用。You could have， 但是这样子做的话呢，人们比较是一个理论，人们呢可以有 have a better communication with others。好，这样子都不完整哦。最完整是要回到第一句。第一句他说呢，他参加的是 business leaders， 所以我们要前后呼应。你就想啊，你讲的都是 communication， 那我们现在要回到题目哈，就说if people people can communicate with customers， 跟你的客户 and colleagues， 跟你的同事啊，还有客户呢，都很好的沟通，你就比较有可能可以在职场上成功。It is more likely that you can, they can 好了。They can succeed in business. Moreover， 不仅是如此 ，they can succeed in life， 在生活上也是会很成功的，也不是在那个business方面。Nicole, did I tell the truth?
Yes.
Great. Can you read for me? Nicole attended a course.
Okay. Nicole attended a course for becoming a coach of business leaders last February. The course lasted for 6 months. She learned the way to lead people and communication. According to the course, communication involved language, gestures, and gestures, and the facial expression and the cultures.
Mm-hmm.
She learned how to care about others' feeling and emotion so that she could have better understanding about others. By doing so, people can have a better communication with others. If people can communicate with customers and colleagues very well,
Good.
it's more likely that they succeed in business. Moreover, they can succeed in life.
As well, I should put as well， 也能够的意思。And fortunately， 我还没有写完。Fortunately, she learned a lot of skills, and also she was rewarded with a certificate. Which month certificate? Nicole, when did you get a certificate?
Certificate. I got the certificate on about 12 December.
Okay.
Yes.
In December. Congratulations.
Thank you.
To Nicole. Yay. 这样就一篇文章了。所以呢，是不是不难呢？把真正的事情讲出来比较，其实你就是真的事情，你比较会有感觉。好，我会把它升到我们的绘画组。现在呢，不用写那么长了，我只是想要示范一下。就是现在呢，大家请写一篇小小的故事。如果呢，我觉得有一个好方法，有的人他不好意思说他太厉害了嘛，他不好意思说，你就说 my friend 啊，这样就好了，你就把它写成一篇。像我就用Nicole 来写，我没有说 I， 对不对？所以你就用一个名字，然后写怎样怎样讲，那是不是就是一篇故事？那从这个故事之中，我们有学到你的经历 experience，然后你有学到过去式，然后你有学到描述故事的流畅性。然后呢，老师今天有提到很重要，就是前后呼应。看起来好像很顺，可是如果我后来没有写 business 的话，就好像有点偏离题目了，所以我又把它前后呼应。好，写短一点哈，我怕大家写太久。好，写好请放在，写一半也没关系，就把它放在我们的聊天室。Let's go, work hard. Hello, please come back. 请看152页的地方呢，我们要来看单字。好，So are you here with me?
Yes.
Hey, Sue. So, are you looking at page 152?
Yes.
Good. So please read after me. Okay. So 第一行的地方 ，actually going south.
Actually going south.
South. 好，我们呢 ，all of you are actually going south 呢。这一句话说，其实我们都在往南走，什么意思呢？他会继续讲，going south 就是往南走。好，看第二段的第一行 ，an environmentalist，
An environmentalist.
环保人士，哈 ，environmentalist，
Environmentalist.
好，第二行 ，a survivor，
A survivor.
a survivor，
A survivor.
幸存者。他说：“我不是环保人士，我只是一个幸存者。”好，再看第四段的最后一行 ，Power of Antarctica。
Power of Antarctica.
这就是南极的力量。下一行 CRE 这边哈 ，Corvus。
Corvus.
Crevasses， 裂缝，裂缝。好，倒数第二行最后一个字 ，desperate，
Desperate.
desperate，
Desperate.
绝望的。再看右边，好，我们不知道可不可以讲完哈，请看 Part 3， 2、4、6、8，第8行后面 ，Part 3第8行后面，preservation，
Preservation.
preservation，
Preservation.
保护、保存。 所以他谈到呢，为什么他要往南走呢？看这一个 part 3的倒数第3行最后一个字 ，boldness， 大胆或是勇气，好，大胆或是勇气。然后 genius 下面一行 genius， 天才或天分。好，它的单字不多，所以这次呢，我想要尝试呢，就用英文字幕。那其实大家就尽量学习，用听的方式，然后看着字幕，其实会学得更好。So you can hear the voice.
Go south.
Okay, good.
Let's go south. All of you are actually going south. This is the direction of south, this way. And if you go 8,000 kilometers out of the back of this room, you will come to as far south as you can go anywhere on Earth, the pole itself. Now, I am not an explorer. I'm not an environmentalist. I'm actually just a survivor. And these photographs that I'm showing you here are dangerous. They are the ice melt of the South and North Poles. And ladies and gentlemen, we need to listen to what these places are telling us. And if we don't, we will end up with our own survival situation here on planet Earth. I have faced head-on these places, and to walk across a melting ocean of ice is without doubt the most frightening thing that's ever happened to me. Antarctica is such a hopeful place. It is protected by the Antarctic Treaty, signed in 1959. In 1991, a 50-year agreement was entered into that stops any exploitation in Antarctica. And this agreement could be altered, changed, modified, or even abandoned starting in the year 2041. Ladies and gentlemen, people already far up north from here in the Arctic are already taking advantage of this ice melt, taking out resources from areas already that have been covered in ice for the last 10, 20, 30,000, 100,000 years. Can they not join the dots and think, why is the ice actually melting? This is such an amazing place, the Antarctic. And I have worked hard for the last 23 years on this mission to make sure that what's happening up here in the north does never happen, cannot happen in the south. Where did this all begin? It began for me at the age of 11. Check out that haircut, it's a bit odd. And at the age of 11, I was inspired by the real explorers to want to try and be the first to walk to both poles. I found it incredibly inspiring that the idea of becoming a polar traveler went down pretty well with girls at parties when I was at university. That was a bit more inspiring. And after years, 7 years of fundraising, 7 years of being told no, 7 years of being told by my family to seek counseling and psychiatric help, eventually, 3 of us found ourselves marching to the South Geographic Pole on the longest unassisted march ever made anywhere on Earth in history. In this photograph, we are standing in an area the size of the United States of America, and we're on our own. We have no radio communications, no backup. Beneath our feet, 90% of all the world's ice. 70% of all the world's fresh water. We're standing on it. This is the power of Antarctica. On this journey, we faced the danger of crevasses, intense cold, so cold that sweat turns to ice inside your clothing. Your teeth can crack. Water can freeze in your eyes. Let's just say it's a bit chilly. And after 70 desperate days, we arrive at the South Pole. We had done it. But something happened to me on that 70-day journey in 1986 that brought me here. And it hurt. My eyes changed color in 70 days through damage. Our faces blistered out, the skin ripped off, and we wondered why. And when we got home, we were told by NASA that a hole in the ozone had been discovered above the South Pole, and we'd walked underneath it the same year it had been discovered. Ultraviolet rays down, hit the ice, bounced back, fried out the eyes, ripped off our faces. It was a bit of a shock. And it started me thinking. In 1989, we now head north. 60 days, every step away from the safety of land across a frozen ocean. It was desperately cold again. Here's me coming in from washing, naked at minus 60 Celsius. And if anybody ever says to you, I am cold, if they look like this, they are cold, definitely. And 1,000 kilometers away from the safety of land, disaster strikes. The Arctic Ocean melts beneath our feet 4 months before it ever had in history. And we're 1,000 kilometers from safety. The ice is crashing round us, grinding, and I'm thinking, are we going to die? But something clicked in my head on this day as I realized we as a world are in a survival situation. And that feeling has never gone away for 25 long years. Back then, we had to march or die. And we're not some TV survivor program. When things go wrong for us, it's life or death. And our brave African-American, Darryl, who would become the first American to walk to the North Pole, his heel dropped off from frostbite 200 clicks out. He must keep going. He does. And after 60 days on the ice, we stood at the North Pole. We had done it. Yes, I became the first person in history stupid enough to walk to both poles, but it was our success. And sadly, on return home, it was not all fun. I became very low. To succeed at something's often harder than actually making it happen. I was empty, lonely, financially destroyed. I was without hope. But hope came in the form of the great Jacques Cousteau, and he inspired me to take on the 2041 mission. Being Jacques, he gave me clear instructions: engage the world leaders, talk to industry and business, and above all, Rob, inspire young people. because they will choose the future of the preservation of Antarctica. For the world leaders, we've been to every Earth World Summit, all three of them with our brave yacht 2041, twice to Rio, once in 92, once in 2012. And for the Earth Summit in Johannesburg, we made the longest overland voyage ever made with a yacht. 13,000 kilometers around the whole of southern Africa, doing our best to inspire over 1 million young people in person about 2041 and about their environment. For the last 11 years, we have taken over 1,000 people from industry and business, women and men from companies, students from all over the world, down to Antarctica. And during those missions, we've managed to pull out over 1,500 tons of twisted metal left in Antarctica. That took 8 years. And I'm so proud of it because we recycled all of it back here in South America. I have been inspired ever since I could walk to recycle by my mum. Here she is. And my mum is still recycling, and as she is in her 100th year. Isn't that fantastic? And I love my mum. But when Mum was born, the population of our planet was only 1.8 billion people. And talking in terms of billions, we have taken young people from industry and business from India, from China. These are game-changing nations and will be hugely important in the decision about the preservation of the Antarctic. Unbelievably, we've engaged and inspired women to come from the Middle East. Often, for the first time, they've represented their nations in Antarctica. Fantastic people, so inspired to look after Antarctica. You've got to first engage people with this extraordinary place. Form a relationship, form a bond, form some love. It is such a privilege to go to Antarctica, I can't tell you. I feel so lucky. And I've been 35 times in my life. And all those people who come with us return home as great champions, not only for Antarctica, but for local issues back in their own nations. Let's go back to where we began. The ice melt of the North and South Poles, and it's not good news. NASA informed us 6 months ago that the Western Antarctic ice shelf is now disintegrating. Huge areas of ice. Look how big Antarctica is even compared to here. Huge areas of ice are breaking off from Antarctica, the size of small nations. And NASA have calculated that the sea level will rise. It is definite, by 1 meter in the next 100 years, the same time that my mum has been on planet Earth. It's going to happen. And I've realized that the preservation of Antarctica and our survival here on Earth are linked. And there is a very simple solution. If we are using more renewable energy in the real world, if we are being more efficient with the energy here, running our energy mix in a cleaner way, there will be no financial reason to go and exploit Antarctica. It won't make financial sense. And if we manage our energy better, we also may be able to slow down, maybe even stop this great ice melt that threatens us. It's a big challenge, and what is our response to it? We've got to go back one last time. And at the end of next year, we will go back to the South Geographic Pole, where we arrived 30 years ago on foot. and retrace our steps of 1,600 kilometers, but this time only using renewable energy to survive. We will walk across those ice caps, which far down below are melting, hopefully inspiring some solutions on that issue. This is my son, Barney. He is coming with me. He's committed to walking side by side with his father, and what he will do is to translate these messages and inspire these messages to the minds of future young leaders. I'm extremely proud of him. Good on him, Barney. Ladies and gentlemen, a survivor, and I'm good, a survivor sees a problem and doesn't go, whatever. A survivor sees a problem and deals with that problem before it becomes a threat. We have 27 years to preserve the Antarctic. We all own it. We all have responsibility. The fact that nobody owns it maybe means that we can succeed. Antarctica is a moral line in the snow. And on one side of that line, we should fight hard for this one beautiful, pristine place left alone on Earth. I know it's possible. We are going to do it. And I leave you with these words from Goethe. I've tried to live by them. If you can do or dream you can, begin it now, for boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Good luck to you all. Thank you very much.
现在呢，我们把单字来学一下哈。好，他讲到我们要保护原始的大陆哈 ，pristine 啊 ，pristine 好，这叫做原始的 pristine。他说我们要保护呢我们的森林，我们的大陆，我们的陆地 ，continent 是陆地。pristine continent 原始的样貌的大陆，好 pristine。然后呢，他有讲到 bond 呢，就是我们所谓的亲情。他有讲到 love and a bond 就是一个很紧密的关系，叫做亲情。我们说亲情也不一定只是我们的亲人，因为在这个演讲呢提到的是，So can you hear my voice properly?
Yes.
Oh, great. Thank you. 刚才那个演讲者很用力，所以我把声音调小声一点。好。Bond， 我相信他是一个生命力很强的人，因为他讲话，我们听到那么多的 TED， 我从来没有调过声音，只有听他的 TED， 我觉得好像要调小声一点，感觉上大家的负荷有点强。所以 ，So can you hear properly when I turn it down about the video?
No, it's like usual.
Like usual, great. Thank you. So if you notice it's too low, please let me know. Thank you. 好，他有讲到呢一个 join the dots。join the dots 呢就是一个点。其实这句话那个贾伯斯有讲过，他说把每一个点，我们的人生有很多的点，或是里程碑，或是失意或不失意的，你把这些点连起来呢，就是你的人生。好 ，join the dots。那如果说我们有发生一个什么不好的案件，然后呢，我们就去寻找证据。 把这些证据呢一个一个串起来呢，就可以看到全貌。所以 join the dots 中文叫做把点连起来。为什么他的脸会烧伤呢？因为呢，他在那一年的时候，后来他才知道臭氧层其实是在南极破掉，所以呢，他们很多人的脸呢，脸皮都被烧伤了哈，所以他的眼睛呢已经改变了颜色，就是因为臭氧层在那边破掉了。好，我们说 integrate 叫做融合、整合，整合。然后呢，这些南极的冰呢，尽在分解，所以我们加 dis 给它 ，disintegrate，就是叫做分解。这个是融合，这个是分解。好，请素跟我们念一下哈 ，pristine continent。pristine continent， 对，这个 pristine 叫原始的，它跟 Christine 我的名字好像，我的名字是 CH， 对不对？好，再一遍 pristine continent， 就是南极洲的那个洲，有没有？或是大陆的那个大陆，都叫 continent。好 ，love abound， 我们要建立起爱，还有亲情。好 ，join the dots， 它是呢然后下巴要掉下来 ，dots， 对 ，join the dots， 对 ，integrate 整合 ，integrate。Good, integrate 我们可以整合什么呢？整合 data， 我们 data 有好几个，我们有很多资料，我们把它整合起来，或是整合 information， 我们把这些资讯整合起来，还有可以整合什么呢？整合我们的人力 labor， 可以整合很多东西，或是我们整合我们所得到的知识。integrate 的 knowledge， 所以我们可以整合这些。好，素跟我念一下 integrate data， integrate information， integrate labors， integrate knowledge。那他要讲到这些呢，分解呢，就是说这些 polar ice， 我们叫南极、北极，我们叫 polar 嘛，polar ice is disintegrating， 就是北极冰、南极冰正在分解，就是本来一大块变成小块小块的，那很快就会不见了。好 ，polar ice is disintegrating。Polar ice is disintegrating。好，那渐渐的分解以后呢，本来是变小，大块变小块，到最后小块变不见了。没有请，然后呢，一直变成融化，会变成怎样呢？我们的海平面 sea levels are rising， 海平面上升，跟我讲一遍 ，sea levels are rising。Sea levels are rising. Levels. Good, very good. Sea levels are rising. 那海平面上升，它有讲到说 ，in 100 years， 在100年之后呢 ，the sea level will rise， 它会上升1公尺，那很严重哎 ，1 meter。So after 100 years, maybe we are not here. For sure, we are not here after 100 years. However, maybe we have the people we love. 在100年之内呢 ，sea level 就会上升1公尺。好，他有讲到说，我们说再生能源现在要公投了哈，所以大家要想这个议题。所以再生能源叫 renewable energy。Can you read after me? Renewable energy.
Renewable in energy.
Energy 好 ，new 是新的 ，re 就是再一次变新的，可再次变新的叫做什么了 ？Renewable energy， 再生能源，我们叫再生能源，可以再重新使用的。差不多。好，他有讲到一句俚语哈，他说他为他的 I am proud of my son。我为我的小孩感到骄傲。这个 proud 其实不是我们平常的骄傲，是好的那一种骄傲。那如果你要称赞你的朋友或亲人或家人，你就说 Good on you， 就是说真为你感到骄傲，叫 Good on you。好 ，So can we read it together? I am proud of my son.
I am proud of my son.
Good on you.
Good on you.
就是为你骄傲。Good on you. Good on you. 好，他又讲到一个 exploit， 就叫滥用。譬如说 exploit energy， 或是 exploit water， 滥用水，或是滥用职权，有没有 ？exploit authority 叫职权。好 ，so and you please together exploit energy.
Exploit energy.
Exploit water.
Exploit water.
Exploit authority.
Exploit authority.
对，还有滥用药物 drugs。我们会说 medicine 呢是比较好的 ，medicine 有可能是医生开的，那 drugs 可能是医生开的，可能不是，所以滥用药物呢，我们会说 drugs。那有的人会把 drugs 翻成毒品，毒品，滥用毒品。好，请回到课本，看看我们还有没有还会到。请翻开102页，讲多少算多少了哈，利用时间。请先跟我念一下单字哈。第2行102页哈 ，So please add. So did you open to 102?
Yes.
Great. So 第2行 adventurer.
Adventurer.
就是探险者，探险者人那个者。Inspired by.
Inspired by.
就被启发，被启发。好，看第2段蓝色的字 ，intense condition。
Intense conditions.
就是很紧急的状况。Head to 蓝色的字 ，head to。
Head to.
前往。看右边蓝色的字 ，frightening。
Frightening.
令人害怕的。好，请看第3行最后一个字 ，blistered。
Blistered.
起泡，就是他的皮肤起了一个泡泡的。然后看下一行，对不对 ？A hole in the ozone layer.
A hole in the ozone layer.
就是 ozone layer 叫臭氧层，然后 a hole 就是一个洞，所以呢，臭氧层破一个洞。 下一个蓝色的字 beneath，
beneath
在点点点之下。在最后一段的第2行 ，raise awareness about climate change。
raise awareness about climate change。
提高意识，有关于呢气候变迁的意识。所以我们说，气候变迁的意识抬头，那个抬头的意思就是 raise awareness， 提高了这个意思。好，倒数第2行有学过 preservation， 保护。最后一个蓝色的字 survival， 幸存的名词。好，我现在放 CD， 先看一下单词，等我一下。
Robert Scott.
So can you hear the CD?
Yes, I can.
Great. Let's start.
At age 11, Robert Swan knew he wanted to be an adventurer. Inspired by famous polar explorers Roald Amundsen and Robert Scott, Swan wanted to become the first person to walk to both the North and South Poles. People told him he was crazy, but in 1985, after years of raising money, the first part of this adventure could begin. In January 1986, Swan and his team arrived at the South Pole, following a 1,400-kilometer journey through Antarctica's intense conditions. Just 3 years later, Swan put together a new team to head to the North Pole. After walking 1,000 kilometers in 60 days, the team arrived at its destination. Swan, in his own words, became the first person stupid enough to walk to both poles. During those 2 expeditions, however, Swan noticed some frightening things. At the South Pole, his eyes changed color, and his skin blistered due to a hole in the ozone layer. At the North Pole, 1,000 kilometers from safety, the ice started to melt beneath his feet. This was 4 months earlier than the usual melt season. These experiences made Swan realize something. The poles were in real danger. That feeling never left Swan. He now works to raise awareness about climate change and the ice melt of the South and North Poles. In doing this, Swan hopes that he can not only help in the preservation of these 2 amazing places, but also in our own survival here on Earth. At age 11, Robert
So everybody look at 102. 从我们刚才跟树一起学了一些单字，其实我们也可以学习一些句型哈。譬如说 ，at age 11，我们就把它划线起来。你说我11岁的时候呢，不用说太长，你就说 at age 11。好，然后继续划线。刚才我们看 TED 的那位 speaker 就是 Robert Swan。好。He knew he wanted， 把它划线起来。我就说哦，譬如说我3岁的时候，我就觉得我应该会当老师。At age 3, I knew I wanted to be a teacher。所以呢，我就很喜欢说故事。所以这些呢，你在描述自己的故事的时候呢，你就可以用这些句型。I knew I wanted to be a teacher。Inspired by famous polar explorers。好，其实呢，它也是有被启发的。被谁启发呢？就是 polar explorers 这个2级的探险家哈。所以呢，他想要当第一个人去 北极也要去南极。好，然后看第二段，我们来分析他讲故事的剧情。好，第二段 ，In January 1986，是不是讲故事的时候小时候呢，11岁，然后又开始讲1986的时候，Swan 和他的 team 呢 arrive at， 所以呢，就第二个里程碑开始了。再看到呢第三段的地方，好 ，During these two expedition 呢叫做探险活动，所以呢，在这两个探险活动的时候呢 ，Swan noticed some frightening things， 他注意到了一些令人害怕的事情。好，所以他讲故事的方式我们都可以学。好。然后最后一段 ，The feeling never left Swan， 他从来这样的害怕的感觉从来没有离开过 Swan 这个人，所以是不是跟第三段有前后呼应的那个效果 ？Frightening 很令人害怕的，然后第四段说这样的害怕从来没有离开过他，所以我们在讲故事的时候，除了非常生动、非常顺畅之外，我们今天要学到的就是前后呼应。好，谢谢。